Welcome, loves, and that's a challenge. I know. If I haven't said you that this is a challenge, then you would have swooped like, oh my god, what is this girl is doing? She doesn't know how to do makeup. Why is she teaching people to do makeup when she has this? Okay, it was really, really hard for me to recreate something that bad. And I know in most of the cases, you'd say like, it's better to go wash off this makeup and redo it completely. But we don't really have this option today. Today we're redoing makeup, but I don't really have a right to take it off with water and some soap. So I have to redo that with different makeup. And I want to know if it's actually possible to do that. I overlined my lips. I did this weird looking kind of beige nude color. This is just concealer. I used Ron color for my contour. It looks like mud and patchy. And I used the Ron shade for my blush because I used this super bright pink underneath. And then on top, I used just some pink. Then I used a ton of highlighter so it looks like I have glittery side. My brows are like a complete mess. I used a little bit of mascara underneath. I used the wrong shade powder. I used the wrong shade foundation. This one is a little bit darker. It's not even a powder, that's just the shade from my contour palette. This one is too yellow for me. Oh, I messed up with my liner. It was a funny story to tell you guys that at first my liner was perfect. I didn't know how it happened. I wanted to mess it up so bad and it turned out to be perfect. That's why I had to deliberately mess this up. By the way, above my right eye. So I decided that I want to do something for my shorts and I don't really want to mess up with my right eye. I want to create beautiful makeup look for my right eye. That's why I left it this way. I guess with this one, we can understand how to change this whole thing. So first and foremost, that's just my personal opinion. We have to make sure that we don't really have anything black anymore. So I have to take care of my liner first. Maybe even use a little bit of my wipe to make sure that I don't have that much mascara on. Hello? There. Okay, she said like, definitely you need help. I have this Makeup Revolution corrector palette and has beautiful shades. This is definitely going to be a way to go for me. Then I have to use lots of this makeup ones and of course some of my makeup remover. Then for like neutralizing and other stuff, I would need a lot of my beauty blender. It has to be wet because wet beauty blender is going to take a lot of this weird mess looking. I didn't set, by the way, my face. This is another mistake. That's why I'm going to my setting spray as well. Then I'm gonna grab, of course, some eyeshadow palettes, some contour palettes that are matching my skin tone. And then maybe we can create something decent. Of course, I know that there's lots of powders right now. That's why at first we have to sort of wet these powders to make sure that the corrector palette can change the color a little bit. I'm gonna grab my makeup remover and then take off the liner. That's good. But of course we have some bare skin underneath. We're gonna take care of it a little bit later. Then I would need to go to my spoolie and then I would need to easily take off this black color from my mascara. It's really important that your mascara is dry because if it's not, then it's gonna be another problem to solve. Okay, I'm gonna do that with a light hand. It's really important that you don't really use lots of pressure. The first problem is salt, in my opinion. By the way, I want to be super honest. I'm not really sure that it's gonna work out, but at least we're gonna try if it's actually possible to change this makeup look. By the way, I want to take off this overline lips and I want to take off this concealer. So I guess it's not gonna break my rules because we don't really touch anything else but my lips. Now with a dry one, I'm gonna make sure that I don't really have that much contour. Now I have this really cool technique. I'm gonna use my beauty blender and dab all of it with my beauty blender. It's wet, so we're gonna try to wet my powders. Oh, I forgot about my brows. Actually, I would love to take off with a spoolie a little bit of that. And unfortunately, I took off a little bit of my foundation, but that's okay. We're gonna go back with concealer. And it didn't take much. That's why we're going to this corrector palette. So with the corrector palette, I want to grab some colors that are going to neutralize oranginess from my face. And I have lots of this orange colors. I have my foundation brush that I would need to clean before I use this color. The colors that I'm going to, they're going to be this purple-ish color with a little bit of pink. So we're going to mix them together, and then I'll try to get it underneath my contour like that. I'm going to need to wet all these imperfections, and before I do that, I'm going to add a little bit of this purple and pink. So it's looking better than this side. My Catrice powder, this one is really, really good. I love it. I'm gonna set slightly my face with that. I'm gonna use a little bit, tap off, and just set my face. I'm gonna do anything with my concealer because now my concealer is looking more or less fine. But if you feel like your concealer is the wrong shade, you can always add some of the color that you need for your face, and that's gonna be fine. So I had cool tone brown for my face. So neutralizing cool tone brown, it doesn't have enough of yellow. Let's use some James Charles eyeshadow palette, and if I'm not mistaken, he has this kind of yellowy shade. This one is not super yellow, but that's why I guess it's gonna be perfect. I don't really want to add too much brown, but it feels like mud, still feels like mud. That's why we need to add a little bit of warmth. And by the way, look at this subtle highlighter. With the help of my beauty blender, my corrector, my powder, this highlighter turned into something subtle and really beautiful. That's why I'm gonna go in with small brush. Let's use this one. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this yellow color, just the tiniest bit, and I'm gonna tap it off and then add it right here. I'm gonna use a little bit different brush because I'm pretty much sure that this one is poisoned with cool tone colors. I'm gonna use a little bit and then just add it right here, like that. And we're gonna add a little bit more of the same yellow and add it right here. Maybe even a little bit of orange, but nothing crazy. Maybe that shade with a mix of this one. So these two are warm colors, and it's gonna help a lot to warm the complexion. That's it. I don't really want to do anything crazy. For my forehead, I don't want to do anything crazy. I don't want to add additional color because we still have this, you know, subtle kind of like bronzy look. So here it is. Look at this. This is my left side with this cool tone brown, still looking a little bit too cool. And this is a little bit different side. This one is a little bit warmer right now. We're still gonna blend this with a beauty blender, but it's looking a little bit warmer, a little bit better for my complexion. Yeah, so my foundation is almost done. It's looking much better. It's looking so much better. I don't want to do any more highlighter because we still have this sheer, like, beautiful highlighter underneath all these powders, and I don't really think we need to add more. I'm gonna add a little bit of my normal concealer. And now I will add a little bit of powder. Let me carry on with my brows. I try to narrow them a little bit. I will add a little bit of my brow gel. My brows are looking better. It's just so much better than it used to be. I'll add a little bit of blush over the nose tip. Yeah, just looking better. I'm gonna set my face with instant spray, but I'm a little bit afraid that I will damage my eye with some mascara on. That's why I'll try to cover that like that maybe. Okay, and while it's wet, I'm going with my beauty blender to set all the powders to make sure that it's not crazy looking and it's just kind of like taking off some extra shade. It looks good. It looks really good. I'll definitely do some smoky here because it feels like we need some smoky. You can use your beauty blender to take off this crazy color off first. First of all, I'm gonna correct my liner. Primer on top. Nothing crazy. I mean, like one small dot. And let's use it with my blue colors. Okay. Shimmery blue. Let's use this green. Why not? Maybe it's gonna look pretty. in this minty shade. So pretty. Maybe this green. Final step. It's gonna be really hard for me actually. I don't know how to do that, but I'll probably just add a little bit more mascara and pray that it's gonna look fabulous. Okay, let's do some lips. Oh my, girl, you're looking so freaking pretty. And then to avoid mistakes, when you have wet lips, you had your lip liner. I love it so much. Screw these people who say, avoid 12 mistakes. You can make mistakes and then you can correct them as I've done. I am so happy that this is finally over. Of course, it might have a little bit of orangeness. Probably. I don't know where, but still it might have. But I can't see that right now. Right away I can see any orange color. It's looking really pretty. It's looking really soft. Is it the best foundation I would have ever done? Probably not. But is it wearable? Yes. Okay guys, and that is the final result. I hope you enjoyed today's video, today's challenge. Hope you're gonna like and subscribe. Guys, I'm gonna see you in my next video. Bye bye.